Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that affects every single one of us every minute of every day, but it's completely invisible. We're going to decode the microscopic chemicals that literally run our bodies. So if you want to know what's actually happening under your skin, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it.
Think about this for a second. If I told you your entire body runs on tiny, invisible chemicals with names that sound, well, kind of like bad Wi-Fi passwords, B12, KD3, you'd probably laugh. But the reality? Without these microscopic players, your body just shuts down. We're talking skin cracking, blood thinning, bone snapping, and your brain misfiring. We call them vitamins. And today, we're breaking down every single one you actually need to keep the machine running.
Okay, let's dive into this vitamin alphabet. First, we'll look at the invisible building blocks. Then, the confusing B family. Third, the celebrity, vitamin C. Number 4, the sunshine hormone. 5, your bodyguards, vitamins E and K. And finally, section 6, we've got a twist, the missing half.
All right, starting with section 1, the invisible building blocks. Let's focus on vitamin A.
So if you've ever wondered why you don't completely trip over your coffee table in the middle of the night, you've actually got vitamin A to thank. Its superpower is giving you that crucial night vision, keeping your skin healthy and keeping your immune defenses locked and loaded. But it has a kryptonite, severe deficiency. Without it, your skin dries out, literally like old leather. And the historical horror story here is just heartbreaking. In parts of the world where diet severely lacked vitamin A, children went blind. Your body's defenses just absolutely collapse without it. Now, because this deficiency was such a massive global crisis, scientists invented golden rice. This is a genetically modified crop packed with vitamin A, created specifically to combat that severe deficiency and childhood blindness. It's a fascinating solution, though it sparked debates that are literally still raging today. Of course, you can also get vitamin A naturally. Think carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and yes, liver. The food everyone pretends to enjoy once a year but secretly hates. But remember, balance is the key here. Too little, your night vision fades. Too much, your skin might actually turn orange. Seriously.
Moving right along to section 2, the confusing B family. And man, is it an extended family.
Now, what's really interesting here is how scientists just skipped B4, B8, B10, and B11, kind of like they were bad movie sequels. The remaining members, they have incredibly specific, quirky jobs. B1 keeps your nerves firing. Without it, sailors used to get a deadly disease called beriberi. Then there's B2, which turns your food into energy. Fun fact, B2 is the one that makes your urine neon yellow when you take a multivitamin. We've also got B3, which prevents pellagra. That's a disease famously known for the 3 Ds, dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia. Yeah, not a fun package deal. Then there's B7, also known as biotin. Influencers absolutely love to overhype this one for hair and nails, even though most of us get plenty from our regular diets. And finally, B12, the heavyweight. Vegans especially struggle with B12 since it mostly comes from animal products. But without it, your nervous system malfunctions and fatigue hits you like a freight train.
Next up, section 3, the celebrity vitamin C. Easily the most famous of the bunch.
I mean, it's the nutrient everyone instantly thinks of the second they feel a tickle in their throat, right? But does vitamin C actually cure a cold? Well, it's time to bust a massive myth. Research shows it actually doesn't prevent colds at all. At best, getting a burst of vitamin C might just slightly shorten the amount of time you spend stuck on the couch sneezing into a tissue. But hey, don't let that fool you into thinking it isn't absolutely vital. To put it into perspective, historically, sailors on long voyages simply wasted away from scurvy. We are talking bleeding gums, rotting teeth, fragile bones, the whole shebang. It was a complete nightmare until someone realized the simple cure: citrus fruits. This is exactly why British sailors earned the nickname limeys. It wasn't because they loved a good gin and tonic, it was because those limes literally saved their lives.
So, what are vitamin C's real jobs? On a biological level, it produces collagen. That's the protein keeping your skin firm, your blood vessels strong, and allowing your wounds to heal. It also acts as a really powerful antioxidant. You can find it in oranges, bell peppers, strawberries, and broccoli. But the absolutely crucial point here is that your body cannot make this vitamin, and it can't store much of it either. You need a steady, ongoing supply from your diet, or your body literally starts falling apart.
Let's transition to section 4, the sunshine hormone. Let's talk about vitamin D.
Notice how we called it the sunshine hormone, not the sunshine vitamin? That's because, by definition, vitamin D isn't really a standard vitamin at all. It's actually more like a hormone that your body magically manufactures when sunlight hits your bare skin. It is absolutely essential for absorbing calcium, which means it totally dictates your bone strength. But it goes way beyond that. It regulates your mood and supercharges your immune defenses. In fact, low levels are directly linked to chronic fatigue, getting sick more often, and even depression.
Historically, a lack of vitamin D caused a disease called rickets. It left children with bowed legs and fragile skeletons because thick industrial city smog literally blocked out the sun. Doctors eventually fixed it by just letting kids play outside and fortifying milk. But think about our modern reality for a second. We spend our lives indoors, we're covered in sunscreen, we're constantly staring at screens. The deep irony here is that a historical disease like rickets and severe vitamin D deficiency in general, they're actually making a quiet modern comeback today.
All right, Section 5, Bodyguards, Vitamins E and K, the unsung heroes. Let's meet the unsung heroes of your biology, starting with vitamin E. You can think of it as rust-proofing for your body. It's a powerful antioxidant protecting your cell membranes from free radicals. You know, those highly unstable molecules that speed up aging and disease. You get it from nuts, seeds like almonds and sunflower seeds, and leafy greens. But a quick word of caution. While supplement companies absolutely love to push high-dose vitamin E pills, research actually shows that taking too much can be harmful and increase health risks instead of solving them. More is not always better.
And then we have vitamin K, which brings us to one of the most bizarre stories in nutritional science. Get this. Back in the 1920s, scientists noticed that chickens fed a completely fat-free diet just started randomly bleeding internally. Why? Well, because without fat, the birds couldn't absorb vitamin K and their bodies couldn't clot blood properly. The K actually comes from the German word for coagulation. Its main job is blood clotting. Without it, a tiny paper cut could turn into a severe medical emergency. Newborn babies are actually so vulnerable to this that hospitals give them vitamin K shots right after birth.
There are two main types you should know about. K1 is mostly found in plants, things like your spinach, kale, and broccoli. K2, on the other hand, is found in animal products and fermented foods. A really great example of K2 is natto. It's a sticky Japanese soybean dish that, frankly, famously smells like old gym socks, but it is absolutely packed with nutrients. Okay, let's move to Section 6 and see how this all builds up. The missing half, minerals.
So we've seen how vitamins are these hidden building blocks, quietly deciding whether you thrive or fall apart. But I want you to ask yourself something. What if vitamins are only half the story? What happens if you perfectly balance your A, B, C, D, E, and K, but you're entirely missing the other microscopic players on the board?
That brings us to minerals. Iron, zinc, magnesium. Your body heavily depends on these microscopic metals to power absolutely everything, from the physical beating of your heart to the complex firing of your brain's synapses. If you miss one of these essential metals, the consequences can actually make some vitamin deficiencies look tame by comparison. So, while vitamins are the crucial keys that start the engine, minerals are the heavy machinery doing the actual work. And that leaves us with a provocative thought. If we spend all our time obsessing over the vitamin alphabet, what invisible microscopic metals is your body desperately crying out for right now? Thank you for joining me on this explainer, and as always, stay curious.